Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian. Right now, I'd like to extend on a video I just did recently, and that would be major pentatonics for bass. In that video, I went over a lot of the details of the major pentatonic scale, and now that we're past that, let's learn a song. And what song I chose was Amazing Grace. The reason was Amazing Grace has a melody totally comprised of the pentatonic scale. And it was covered by Victor Wooten, you may have seen, and he did a real number on that, as you know. And I'd like to emulate a little bit of some of the things he did, but at the same time make it simple enough so a beginner can learn it and extend on it. I'd like to point out at this time, I'm going to be doing this in another key as well. The same key I did the introduction in, and that would be in the key of G. It is a little more complex playing the harmonics, but you have the choice of playing it the easy way in the key of A or the more complex way in the key of G. So let's continue on in the key of A. We're going to use the A major pentatonic scale, and there's a reason why I'm using A major pentatonic, and I'll discuss that in a minute, but let me show you the details of this. We're going to use the A major pentatonic from the 5th fret on the E string. I'm going to condense the melody, make it real simple so you can absorb the essence of it, and then we'll work on it a little bit at a time. Right now, the objective is to get you to play the melody basically. So we start from the root right here. That's easy enough. So we practice. Very simple. Now, I'd like to explain to you why I use the A major pentatonic scale. I use the A major pentatonic scale because on the 4th fret, the 5th fret, and the 7th fret, you can get very strong harmonics very simply. And so we're going to learn that section I just covered with harmonics. So we can trade them up, put them in. So here's the way it goes. You notice that last note, the E, I played, it was down an octave, and it will work, but it would be better if you could play it up an octave, but you can't really do it up an octave in this position. You have to move over to one of the more difficult ways of playing an E up higher. It would be right there. So you have the choice of just using the low E, and I did that so we can stay in position to keep it simple once again. Could also throw it in afterwards. Now we're on to the key of G, and it's a little more complicated, and I'll play the melody just straight ahead, finger picking, but I'm going to make it very brief, and I'm going to put it up an octave just to keep everything interesting. So we have a G right here, D string, 17th fret, and we're going to hit it with the 5th below to start it. Right now I'd like to show you another way to make the line sound more interesting, and you add a triplet. The thing about this line is you have to play a 3.2 harmonic right above the F to get the A, and again later in the line right above the C to get your E. So the A sounds like this, and once again you have to be just a fraction above the fret to get it to ring clearly. You have to find that spot. And on the E, on the thicker string, it gets a little more difficult. And that will be the E. All the same. I'm going to slow that line down. All nice and clear. It may take a little bit of practice to do that, and perhaps you can take a little section of the line and focus on those more difficult harmonics on the fraction 3.2. Then the other part. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, comment, and go to my Patreon page and download some of this stuff. I have a link on the description below. Thank you for coming by. I hope to see you again.